Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lauren's younger sister and maid of honor, Christina. I'm going to try to keep this speech as short as possible because we all know I'll be crying by the time I'm finished, so.
Yeah, me too.
When I was researching maid of honor speeches, I came across one quote that stuck out to me. 2 peas in a pod, thick as thieves, tight knot, close as can be. Of all the terms and cliches that describe our relationships, I think sisters says it best.
Come on, cry a little bit. Let's go get that.
Growing up, it's always been just Lauren and I.
She's done.
We had the typical big little sister relationship. Lots of yelling, hair pulling, tattletaling, etc. Being the annoying little sister I was, I copied pretty much everything Lauren did. I made her put all of her music from her iPod onto mine. I made her do her hair, my hair just like hers. I even tried to dress like her. I even went as far as copying her art project exactly when I was in the 5th grade that she had done a couple of years before for a contest, and she didn't win the contest. And I ended up placing first. Sorry. As we grew up, we developed an unbreakable bond. Throughout every hardship life has thrown at us, Lauren has always been my backbone, picking up all of the pieces when things need to be fixed. That is just the type of person she is. Her strength and courage are admirable. Her selflessness is inspiring. While I stand here and name some of the many qualities that make up the kind of woman Lauren is, I still feel like the same annoying little sister trying to achieve all of them so I can be just like her. It takes a special kind of person to be able to handle Lauren, and that's where Anthony comes in. I met Anthony at my 8th grade Halloween party in 2008. I remember the day like it was yesterday. Lauren and Anthony walked into the house before the party started. Anthony was wearing his Hollister sweatpants and white thermal that we soon come to realize was his favorite outfit because he wore it pretty much every day. And he charmed us all. Fast forward a month later, Anthony was instant messaging me, telling me how he wanted to ask Lauren to be his girlfriend and needed to figure out the perfect. Little did I know, 7 years later, he would be doing the same thing, but instead this time he'd be proposing to her. From Anthony texting me at 11:30 at night to unlock the basement door to help him sneak in. Sorry, Mom. To playing NHL on PS4 all day while Lauren sits on the couch and yells at us for ignoring her. I've considered Anthony a brother to me since day one. I'm glad that from today on, he is officially my brother. Lauren and Anthony's love story is unique. Like every relationship, it's had its ups and downs. It's had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows and everything in between. But something they've taught me about relationships is that if it's something you want, you fight for it. No matter what the circumstances are, you never give up on each other. And they certainly haven't given up on each other after all these years. As hard as it is for me to give my sister away to start the next chapter of her life, I know I couldn't have picked a better person for her to spend forever with. Today I get to give her to Anthony to protect and love her in ways I cannot. If my dad were here, I know he'd be so proud that his little girl found her happily ever after. You two mean so much to me, and I wish you both a lifetime filled with love and everything great life has to offer. I love you guys. Here's to Lauren and Anthony.
Hey, Ralph, good luck topping that, Ralph.
Yeah. Just to let you guys know, mine's not so sentimental. Also, let you know, I'm dealing with a post-nasal drip. I got it in that dinosaur costume. All right, on a more serious note. Good evening, family, friends, and honored guests. In case you missed my fabulous introduction, I am Anthony's best man and cousin, Ralphie. That's right, not Joe, Ralphie. There's so much you could say about a man who is charming, good-looking, funny, and many other great things, but I'm not here to talk about myself. Anthony's like the little brother I never had. Since I never had a little brother, I was always able to cause a lot of mischief, and only he would suffer the consequences when I would stay at Aunt Dawn and Uncle Anthony's house. I'd like to believe I was a great influence on Anthony, but truth be told, We were and always will be partners in crime. It all started one night sleeping over. I combined 4 different types of chocolate into a cup that took up about 5 ounces of an 8-ounce cup, 2 ounces of milk, stirred it, and told Anthony he had to drink it. If I had to say, that's probably why Anthony suffers from IBS today. Many of you know what I mean if you go on Snapchat or get that lunchtime picture text message. Living in Brooklyn, there's not much you can do out on the street, so I would convince him to play tackle football in his mom's kitchen, which resulted in his lovely chipped tooth. That was definitely one of his sexiest characteristics at the time.
Fucking asshole.
Lauren, I know that turned you on. Moving out to Staten Island, not always having a car, public transportation not being reliable. Anthony and I got into a creepy old man's car one time with a huge-ass dog in the back. Rushed home as fast as we could because we told Aunt Dawn that we were walking down the block. We were still in Princess Bay. I've shared a lot of things with Anthony, including 3 jobs, and he was good at all 3 when he wanted to be. At Sunstar, Anthony was great. I'd ask him to go collect the games. Instead, I found him playing them. Statue cruises, I was on the boat, he was on the dock. I didn't get to see him so much, but I'd hear his name all the time, and not in a good way. As a student on my bus, Anthony liked to speed and jam on the brakes to send me flying into the windshield. But that's only when he wasn't too busy closing the doors on a little old black lady's body. On a more serious note, Anthony has always been a hard worker when it comes to something that sparks his interest. Marriage and Lauren has definitely done that. Lauren, you look absolutely gorgeous tonight, and I mean that. It's not just on paper, I mean that. I didn't expect anything less, honestly, and I don't think anyone in this room did either. One thing that I believe is that no matter what, you'll always have all of Anthony's heart. It may not seem it at times because there's going to be as many bad times as there are good times, but you two have been one for a very long time, and today only changed your W-2 form. Just remember that even at the worst of times, the love you guys share for one another will always bring you back to your good times. I'm not married for a very long time, so I can't give you guys much more marriage advice, but I will say it's one of the greatest things I've ever done, and I wish the same for you. Lauren, please take care of my baby Anthony. I know he loves you with all of his heart, which honestly, let's hope is as big as his biceps. Let's see you flex. The one night that always stands out to me the most, we were in Atlantic City, and of course I was in a bad mood, so I was doing nothing but people watching. And I saw you two look at each other in Haven. And the way you guys looked at each other was the way I looked at my wife when I knew I wanted to marry her. I ask that you continue to look at each other like that each and every day. I was honored and truly surprised to be asked to join Anthony in getting Lauren's ring and be the best man today. I can keep going all night, but I am extremely thirsty, as I'm sure all of you are. Remember, it's an open bar, so drink as much as your liver can handle, even if you didn't inherit that gene. Can someone just point me to the bar?
That way!
What way?
That way!
I ask everyone to please raise a glass as I wish Anthony and Lauren lots of love, health, happiness, and not to mention many children, since Anthony wanted to start last night. But please, just wait a while. Love you guys.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together nice and loud for your maid of honor and best man. Give it up. Tina and Ralph, a beautiful job, excellent toast. At this time, we'd like to ask everyone to please remain at your tables as your first